It is time to go playoff racing here in the Elite Old Testament Firearms Truck Series. Round 1 tonight at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Hello, I'm Zach Evans alongside defending JoinAPS.com Cup Series champion Gerald Campbell. Gerald, here we are kicking off the playoffs, and already we've got a couple of big names in that playoff field who aren't even with us tonight because of various obligations. Should really open things up for the start of this playoff.
Yeah, this is what they call the city that never sleeps, I guess, or one of those cities that never sleeps. Las Vegas. It's a great mile and a half racetrack. Opens the door for a lot of full throttle racing opportunities, and pretty wide open track for passing. So interesting to see exactly who's going to capitalize tonight. As you stated, a couple drivers out, so that leaves the door open for them to gain a couple spots in the standings. There's only a couple more races after that they're going to have an elimination. So every point matters. We're going to see who's going to be able to come home tonight with the points that they need to make the next few races before the end of the playoffs a little easier on them.
We'll talk about that a little bit more. So for those unfamiliar with the Elite Old Testament Firearms Truck Series, 12 drivers making the playoff here after an 8-race regular season. 4 of them will race for the championship at the final race of the season at Atlanta. To determine which 4 drivers, we have the 3 playoff races starting tonight at Las Vegas. Then we'll have Auto Club Speedway, and then the elimination race at Martinsville. Of course, the winner of each of those races, provided they're a playoff driver, make the final 4, and then you fill in the rest with points. So that's crucial, though, because probably one of the top drivers we've seen all season in this truck series, Scott Crump, admittedly probably setting his priorities in the right order. His second kid was born today, so congratulations, Scott. Congratulations to the mother, the child. But I guess he's got to do dad stuff tonight, so he's not with us.
Yeah, as a guy that just had a kid myself, that's a little bit more important than some online races with some guys. But yeah, congratulations to him. I'm sure he's probably tuning in to see who he's going to have to battle for, because he's probably looking at the next 2 races as a must-win situation, which he is more than capable of doing as a regular season champion. One of the most, if not aggressive drivers in the field. So congratulations to him on his new child. And other than that, we're gonna try to see if we can fill in some of those spots. One of these playoff drivers, if they win, they're in. Now, one thing to note, the playoff drivers tonight is that they will have a white spoiler, a white splitter on the front, white banner on top, and those are how you're going to be able to visually be able to identify which driver is going to be into the chase for tonight. So regular drivers are going to be having their regular paint schemes, but the white ones are going to be the ones to watch for tonight.
One of those on the screen right now, that's Chad Thurnquist making his qualifying run. Another playoff driver right now atop the qualifying chart at the moment, the number 31 of Tom Bourne. We'll see if Chad Thurnquist has anything to say about that here in the final seconds of qualifying. But that's, as Gerald pointed out, those white spoilers, white valences, white banner. That's how you can spot the playoff guys in the field tonight. He almost got him. P2 by 0.03 of a second. Tom Bourne
for a guy that
hangs
almost
on.
Forgot that he was racing tonight. He only had about 5 minutes of practice. Didn't waste time to show some speed. He's one of the drivers that won earlier this year. Scott Crump's teammate. Him and Scott had a good battle midseason for the front standings, but Scott Crump was able to get away from Chad Thurnquist there at the end. But now Chad's all by himself out here, going to be starting right next to Tom Bourne, another playoff driver.
We'll pull up the grid here as they have qualified. As we mentioned, Tom Bourne on the pole with a 30.991 second lap. Chad Thurnquist joining him on the front row. Your second row, Ethan Burrell and Trey Holmes in truck 88. Row 3, Shane Terrian and Bronson Stafford, a couple of those Sky Motorsport trucks. Row 4, Tyler Dixon and Dustin Dewar. Row number 5, Harrison Talon, another playoff driver, Truck 51, alongside Hunter Firestone to round out the top 10. Brandon Key will start 11th, alongside William Harrington into 66. Corey Abbott into 7, starting 13th. Alec Balvins starting 14th. Another couple of playoff drivers that we'll be keeping an eye on tonight. Dylan Jones in 15th. Anthony Ludi starting 16th in Truck 43. Starting 17th, Kyle Walgren. Starting 18th, Sam Boutwell, a couple of Wally Racing trucks. Mark Keeler starting 19th. Jordan Owens rounding out the top 20. He'll be outside of row 10. Hunter Smith starting 21st. Joshua Freed starting 22nd. Jared Rexing, Sean Ryan make up row 12. And then behind, I think everybody actually took time. I think that's everybody for realsies.
We're going to have a couple drivers going to the back for playoff banner issues. Some of those are actual playoff drivers that had decent qualifying. Shane Therian, Harrison Talon, both of those drivers are going to be going to the back. So they're going to have some work to do to try to get up there because there is stage points. I'm not quite sure. I think it's lap 25 and lap 50, I believe. Is that correct?
That is correct.
So there's points for the top 10 here in the truck series for the top 10 finishers. They're both going to have to put a little work in now to get into that top 10 to get those little extra bonus points, which are going to be oh so crucial when it comes down to the end of this this playoff season.
By the way, Gerald, before we go green, I want to note you were correct. Scott is indeed watching. He offers his thanks. So thanks for tuning in, Scott, and hope everything is well.
Well, he's definitely watching in tonight. I knew he would. He's a competitor. So again, he's probably rooting on his teammate Chad Thurnquist, hoping that he's one of those. But he's probably also rooting for that driver in third place, non-playoff driver Ethan Burrell that everyone knows very fast. So he'd probably be pretty happy if a non-playoff driver squanders the hopes of some of these guys and takes the victory and makes them lose that oh so critical win. But green flag is on the way, and Tom Bourne gets out to a decent sized gap lead over Chad Thurnquist and Ethan Burrell into turn 1.
Indeed. Now we find out, will somebody play spoiler or will somebody punch their ticket to Atlanta? 100 laps to figure it out. Tom Bourne drawing first blood at the moment. He leads the way down the backstretch. Ethan Burrell looking to the inside as they go into turn 3, though. I'll tell you, he is going to be one to watch tonight. Not one of those playoff drivers, but so fast anytime he shows up and plays with the trucks.
Yeah, the draft is so important here. That he's able to get that draft coming out in the backstretch and clears his way into to the lead here. But multiple grooves here at this track. You know, you see them all high, low, all different directions. It's all about who's going to be able to just get the momentum working for them. I'm not quite sure if the outside lane is going to play into a factor or if the bottom line is going to be the way to go. But we'll just have to figure out with these tires. I'm not sure if any of them are going to really be saving anything at this point, with only 25 laps being the end of the stage before they can come back down for a new fresh set of tires.
Right now we're looking at the battle for second. Trey Holmes on the inside into Valvoline number 88. Tom Bourne in that number 31 on the outside. Tucked in right behind them is Chad Thurnquist into 92, just kind of biding his time, probably waiting to see which line gets the advantage and probably hoping he can stick his foot in the door when that happens and pick up a spot as well.
Yeah, Ethan Burrell's just happy where he's at right now. I don't see a driver early on being able to just be able to get away due to the draft, but if a driver's able to save something, they may be able to have enough tire to where they can start eking out a little bit of a lead. But for the early going run, the draft is just going to be too important. As the 31, as I say that, dives underneath. He wants to lead back. He didn't even get to lead the first lap. He wants to at least be able to get some points from that. So he's going to be back underneath Ethan Burrell, who is going to now have to get back some of that momentum and try to work his way back in front of him.
Back to the lead, Tom Bourne, winner, back at Daytona to punch his playoff spot. Here he is, see if he can start off the playoffs with another win in that number 31. And now it looks like his teammate, Bronson Stafford, has kind of joined the party and drafted up into this battle for third. We see the 88 of Trey Holmes, the 92 of Chad Thurnquist, and the 61 of Bronson Stafford there, nose to tail.
Yeah, again, to 2-1. Loses the front nose a little bit there. Maybe got a little bit too close and lifted off the throttle, and the front nose maybe just lifted up off the ground. Most of these drivers, if I had to predict, are if not full throttle for the beginning part of this run. So maybe just lifting out of the gas made that front nose go up the racetrack there, but able to save it and able to get back into the draft and even things out a little bit. It's single file all the way back into, it looks like the 6th spot is starting to be battled.
Indeed, we see Brandon Keefe trying to work his way around Corey Abbott. He will do so in that number 17. A little bit of a new look on that 17 this week. Well, I might have missed that last week, actually. I was not with us last week, but it's a new look for me at the very least, as now we see Chad Thurnquist and Trey Holmes battling for third.
Yeah, they're battling. This drafting is what's producing these battles, getting this long straightaways and getting in behind him and being able to duck out and get him.
Turn!
92 gets spun. Playoff driver Chad Thurnquist gets spun around, saves it on the back straightaway. The caution will be out for him on that, but unfortunate for him, that's going to put him deep into the field in this run.
Yeah, definitely unfortunate. We'll take another look at that on the replay here.
Yeah, bump draft gone wrong right there.
We'll take another look at it. Here we see coming off. Yeah, just really tight. I do want to go on board with Stafford there and kind of show how it would have looked from his perspective there. I think that's got to be very important to show here, because they're going to be coming off of turn 2. And you're going to see he's kind of in that middle lane as we go on board here with Bronson Stafford. And Thurnquist is on the bottom. And he's going to kind of wash up the hill. He's clear, but definitely probably would have needed to check up to avoid getting into Thurnquist there.
There was no maliciousness
No.
The mere factor of a driver having the high groove. And again, these drivers are full throttle. If he lifts, he may lose position from behind him. This is the kind of produced racing that you get whenever you have these high momentum speedways here, where lifting is the difference between making a pass or getting past. So, unfortunate for Thurnquist there, he gets turned around. We'll see if any repercussions go to Bronson there. If he's gonna also entail get a EOL. Nothing said just as of yet from the admins.
That would be a really tough call for race control. I feel like ultimately there is a certain amount of the driver in the rears in that situation obviously has a responsibility of not getting into the driver in front of them, but also that's just such a tight fit there. I don't know. It'll be very interesting to see what action, if any, race control takes on that one. I do want to take a quick second here to thank one of our partners here in Elite, C2 Freight Resources. C2 Freight offers complete freight management services. They are ready to meet your needs today as well as your changing needs in the future. With thousands of qualified carriers in their database, they're capable of handling shipping for every type of goods, from perishable foods to office equipment. Whatever you need to ship, they have access to the necessary equipment, including flatbeds, double drops, vans, tankers, refrigerated equipment, multi-axle heavy haulers, dump trucks, auto carriers, intermodal containers, and more. So, behind the iRacing Pace vehicle, they will complete lap 10 here.
Well,
100.
Chad Thurnquist went from 5th and now has found himself back in 22nd. And there's only about 13 laps left in this stage. It's going to be difficult for him to get into any kind of points-paying position here for this stage. But at least he has a truck.
He has a truck. He kept it out of the inside wall, which was impressive. He actually found time during this caution to say in the YouTube chat, "Holy scary, I nearly died," in all caps. So he's better at multitasking than me, first of all. Let's get that out of the way first. But, as you mentioned, he's still got a shot at this. He's still in the race.
Yeah, you never know what's going to happen into these mile-and-a-half tracks. Again, you get a little bit of damage, and it could affect your whole truck and the way it handles down with these straightaways and these high draft packages. But it doesn't look like he has any damage, so he definitely has a chance to be able to work his way back up there and maybe mix into it when the chaos ensues.
Getting ready to go back green here at Las Vegas. Tom Bourne, Ethan Burrell on the front row. Nice leisurely pace into the restart zone. And there we go, Tom Bourne on the gas. We're back underway.
Yeah, he decided to give his teammate a little bit of a help starting on the outside. That's an FRN truck behind him. So the FRN truck started on the outside. It looks like Tom Bourne's going to be able to get out to a decent lead, but remember last time Ethan Burrell was able to get on that restart, get the draft in behind the 31 and be able to clear him going into turn 3. Looks like he's not going to have that advantage as his teammate was able to help the 31 get enough draft down the back straightaway to stay in front of the 19 this time around.
And behind them, Bronson Stafford, Trey Holmes again, battle for third. Ethan Burrell's got look to the inside, not going to do anything with it just yet. Now he's actually working. Boy, he's just trying all kinds of different stuff right now, actually.
Now's the time to try it. That caution shortened up that stage, so as you see, Ethan Burrell going to look underneath. He's not done.
Nope.
He wants to lead. And winning is all that's on his mind for tonight. As the 31's going to go up the racetrack, and that's another driver right underneath them. The 88, Trey Holmes, is not also in the playoffs. He's one of those drivers that's just out here for a win. So now it really comes into the factor of are we going to have a playoff driver win this race? It's not looking like as the top two drivers right now, as the 31 is looking back underneath the 88 and putting a challenge with him.
Trey was not at Iowa, but had such a good run in Charlotte. Looks like he's on path for another good run, at least in the early going tonight, as now we see Brandon Key joining the fray a little bit in that number 17. Side by side, second, third, fourth, and fifth. Oh,
Ethan
you know
Burrell
what? Let's make that first or fifth.
Yeah, Ethan Burrell went up the racetrack. 31 was able to stay into the gas, and looks like the 88 barely tapped the wall going down the backstretch, trying to give Ethan Burrell a push. 31's not giving up underneath the inside of the 19. Able to stay into the gas. 19 drifts up high. And 88's looking to try to figure out if there's a way to get 3 wide in this situation.
I mean, you could certainly try.
Yeah, why not? 88's real high this time. They will. Is it going to be 3 wide? They're so close. They they want to do it.
Boy, and part of you has to say it's so early. I think Trey Holmes, he might have kept it out of the wall, but he definitely got squeezed a little bit there going into 3. Had to get out of gas and losing a ton of ground just from that slight lift. You can see how much that hurt him.
Well, Shane Therian started in the back. He is now in 11th, and he's found himself in the back of this big pack. And I'll be if I was him, I'd be kind of afraid what I see up here, because there is a lot of side by side and zigzagging going on in front of him, as no one really knows which is going to be the preferred line. It looks like both the high line and the low line seem to have their advantages, and it just depends on who's got the throttle mashed down harder. One driver, though, that's been impressive so far with his run up to the field is Brandon Key up there in third. Going for second underneath the 19. Brandon Key really didn't run that many races here. He is in the playoffs, or was in the playoffs, in the Joint APS Cup Series, and has got eliminated, so he decided to come down into here to try to play spoiler in this race, as the 19 is able to get back underneath the 31. Great racing so far.
This is incredible stuff we're seeing. And it's just the first stage. We've still got more than 80 laps to go in this. Already the gloves coming off. Boy, if this is what we're seeing in the first stage, imagine what it's going to be like at the end of this race when there's a Final Four ticket on the line.
Yeah, it's hard to point a camera in any direction because there's just so much side-by-side racing and so much going on. You just see, you look through the field, and there's just whoever's able to get the draft on someone just takes a takes a leap of faith going into the turn and dive bombs it in there and keeps it from going up into the other drivers somehow. But this is what you gotta love about a mile and a half track like Las Vegas here. It has plenty of grip being at night. These drivers are able to leave it all onto the track and hang it out wide. The 17 kind of scrunched, came close to the 31 coming out of that turn. 31 was able to stay into the gas and is desperately trying to clear down to maybe make another run at the 19.
Man, just so much action right now, closing in on it. Remember, stage 1 ends after 25 laps. Bonus points on the line. I mean, not just for the playoff drivers. Remember, going into the 2022 A season, if you're in the top 25 in points, you're locked in for those first few races when we could have 50, 60 trucks show up. You won't have to worry about making the field. So there's still plenty on the line for some of these drivers who missed the playoffs, but want to make sure they don't miss those first couple of races to start next season.
No, yeah, this is the type of racing right here that people want to show up for. This is great, hard racing, a lot of grooves. Probably not helping Scott Crump feel better about not making this race. He's probably watching this, wishing that he was part of it. I mean, any driver is watching this and enjoying it just for the mere aspect of all the racing groups. It just looks like there's a lot of drivability out there. It's a 61. Oh, he keeps it off the wall.
How did he hang on to that?
I don't know. He did scrape it. I saw some sparks, but the 17 did push him up there. Staying in the gas through all of it and was able to still stay side by side with the 17. Didn't lose position. Doesn't look like he's got any damage on the side, but I did see some sparks. He definitely does not need to be pancaking that side of the vehicle. He needs to keep it clean here at the track. When there's so much drafting, you just got to be careful with how you place your car. But 17's trying desperately to stay up there.
And now Tyler Dixon looking to the inside of Brandon Key. That is a battle for the 4th position. Tyler Dixon in that 54 truck, and looks like he's got a little bit of a run, but you have to expect that outside to come roaring back off the corner. Man, just such great racing we're seeing here.
Don't look now, but we got that yellow machine, that aggressive milk there coming along. He's the only 2-time winner so far in the series, and if anyone is going to show some aggression, it's absolutely going to be right now our points leader of Jared Rexing. He's looking coming up on the back of Tyler Dixon and Brandon Key. He's opted to stay behind Brandon Key and push him along. Oh man, they are trying desperately to pass one another.
Every position is a point as they come to the line. It's going to be Ethan Burrell taking the stage win. And look at this battle for 4th, Brandon
End of
Key.
the stage. Yeah, that was for some points. He was looking to try to get one more position. Brandon Key was able to hold off the 10 just enough. Jared Rexon coming home 5th. But wow, that's fantastic.
Incredible stuff to close out the first stage. We're going to do that a couple more times before it's over. Oh my goodness. So Ethan Burrell picking up the stage win. Bronson Stafford 2nd, Tom Bourne 3rd, Brandon Key 4th, Jared Rexing 5th, Tyler Dixon 6th, Trey Holmes 7th, Shane Terry in 8th, Corey Abbott 9th, and Hunter Smith rounding out the top 10.
You don't think these playoff drivers want these points? That shows you they realize what's at stake. They realize that every point is going to matter whenever you're chopping a 12-car field into 4. You got to get the points now. There's no waiting. There's no just trying to hold off into the back. There was going from the start of the green flag all the way to the end of that stage. And man, this is great racing. It's going to be interesting to see if anyone learned anything and is going to change their approach to this next stage. If they realize there's more grip, because it looked like there was a ton of grip. It looked like drivers were able to still stay right on the back of each other, even into a 10-lap run. So it's going to be interesting to see if they're going to go hard from the beginning once again for this next stage.
As is usually the case here in the Old Testament Firearms Truck Series, you're going to see everybody come down pit road during this stage break. Typically how it works out is you have a set of tires waiting for you, or 3 sets of tires waiting for you in the pits. Usually you use one at the end of the first stage, one at the end of the second stage, and then that leaves you a set in case you catch a caution or the strategy dictates you need to take tires during the final stage. We'll see who wins the race off of pit road here to complete the first stage. I think it was Ethan Burrell.
Yeah, it's definitely Ethan Burrell got the lead. Now, for second, that's a better question because I'm not quite sure between those FRN teammates which one was able to get ahead of the other.
Looks like it was Bronson Stafford in second, by the way they've exited the pits. And then you got Tom Bourne, Brandon Key, Jared Rexing. So not too much of a shakeup there, it looks like. Of course, we do want to thank tonight's sponsor for the race here at Las Vegas, Sonesta. No matter your travel style or needs, Sonesta can match them amidst a bold and independent-minded aesthetic. From our lobbies and restaurants to our rooms, that's Sonesta and its family of hotels. You know, Gerald, with my job, actually, I do quite a bit of travel. I stayed in a Sonesta up near Milwaukee over the summer. Very impressed. They didn't pay me for that. That's actually a thing that happened.
Wow.
Yeah.
You highly recommend it?
Highly recommend the Sonesta. Or at the very least, the one outside of Milwaukee, in some suburb. I'm trying to remember. I want Richland. Does that sound right? Probably not. Maybe.
I'm on the other side of the country. I have no idea.
Look,
it's not. You could say that, and I'll just agree with you. That sounds good.
Perfect. Please argue with me.
No, I don't want to.
Oh, okay. But anyway, nonetheless, thank you to Sonesta for their support of tonight's event in the Elite Old Testament Firearms Truck Series. As we see, the field is doubled up. We're going to go back to Green Flag Racing here next time by. Getting ready for Stage 2. That'll last until we get to lap 50.
Well, we saw the blocks there at the end starting to get pretty aggressive. It's going to be interesting to have this green flag run go along. If those blocks are going to be more pronounced, if that's just going to be the standard operation of driving from here on out. But one thing, though, to note is Ethan Burrell is going to be starting on the front row, and he chose the bottom. So we'll find out how well he's able to get a jump and be able to hold it for this restart.
Ooh, it looks like Corey Abbott did not get a good launch there behind them. Ethan Burrell did. He's off and away into the lead. As the FRN trucks will be side by side, and Brandon Key is gonna try.
Oh, Brandon Key is getting. Oh my gosh.
He might. I don't know if he wants to be where he's at right now, but he got a nice little shove through the corner to clear Bronson Stafford for third.
I don't know. Jared Rexing was right behind him, and I don't think Jared Rexing was willing to lift, especially after the block that Brandon Key put on him at the end of that last stage. So I think the 10 car was decided if the 17 was going to be in front of him, he was going to have to go quicker, or he was going to get out of the way, one or the other. Caution is out.
Caution is out. We'll have to pull up the replay to see what happened here. I believe, judging by my events.
Oh, it was the 05. It was Hunter Firestone. The 47 gets launched into the wall. I guess his steering wheel went out or something because he went straight into the wall. Hard.
Well,
holy cow.
Let's take a look here on the good old replay. The 47 being Sam Boutwell on the outside here. So, well, that's bizarre. That is very bizarre.
Yeah.
We see Kyle Walgren. That almost, man.
Like I said, that looked like a steering wheel gone out.
The only other thing I can figure, and you know, you hate to discuss certain issues that come up in good old sim racing, but it almost looks like, if I had to take a guess, as we're gonna take a slightly different angle here. You see the 22 of Dylan Jones get loose just before that. And I wonder, I mean, it's a huge distance, but maybe netcode?
No, he got loose. Yeah, you can see the wheels. low overcorrection there and into the wall. But yeah, that was a hard hit. Unfortunately, it took out the 36 of Kyle Walgren. He had a white spoiler, but he is actually not in the playoffs. So that took out no playoff drivers, luckily for them. Sam Boutwell unfortunately missed out that playoff spot by 1 point last week at Iowa. And then tonight, unfortunately, it looks like it's going to be an early night for both of those gentlemen.
Man, tough break for all those drivers.
The 05, though, in the 8, as soon as the 47 hit the wall, a couple other drivers, just to note, that were also involved into that accident, just to state. But so far, it looks like it was just those two that we've shown before to be the only ones out. But luckily for us, they're going to line up, and no playoff driver was affected from that wreck, and line them up and see if we can go again.
So you're telling me no playoff drivers were affected, but one owner in this booth was. That's what I'm gathering right now.
Oh, is it one of those yours?
Both of them. 36 and 47.
Oh, boy, man. Oh, wow.
The Fab Shop sends its regards.
What were they? Were they Chevys? I forget.
Fords. They
Ford?
were Fords. Emphasis on were.
Well, if you decide you want to change manufacturer, you're going to have 2 less trucks to worry about.
You know, I can't say I had it on the to-do list, Gerald, but I'll keep it in mind.
It's 2 less body works to have to work out if you're going to try to change it. So maybe in the future you might have a option now to switch over to a different manufacturer. But it'd be interesting because NASCAR announced that the new truck bodies that are coming out, which look to me gorgeous.
Absolutely, yes.
I don't know about you. I did think that the Ford truck was probably the best looking out of all of them.
I am biased. I would say the Ford is the best looking. But
Chevy looked pretty good as well. Toyota looked a little weird, but Toyota, if you own a Toyota, you are weird, so it's not much of a difference there. But
say what you want about the Toyotas, there's no doubt out of the Xfinity cars, the Supra is the best looking one.
I don't know.
Come on.
I don't know.
Come on. I say that don't get me wrong, I love the Mustang I drive, that I'll be driving and probably wrecking tomorrow night in the Xfinity Series at Talladega. But
I've just got my news feed set on when Dodge shows up, because that's all I want. That's my Christmas wish.
Gerald asking the important questions.
Yeah, I just want Dodge. Give me Dodge, and then I'll ignore anything else on the racetrack. I'll be happy. I'll be happy, boy.
One person happy on the racetrack right now is Ethan Burrell. He's still the leader. And he's going to try to say that for at least 15 more laps to get us to the stage break. Pace car making the hard left turn right about now. And we're getting ready to go back to green.
Ethan stomps on it, gets it going. And now, he's got himself decently there. He's going to be able to get out to around 5 or 6 truck lengths. Biggest lead that we've seen tonight from a restart. That's a fantastic restart for him. 17 and 31 go side by side. Jared Rexing behind 31 Tom Bourne, gonna opt to push him down the back straightaway to try to get past Brandon Key.
Brandon Key on the inside into 17, Tom Bourne on the outside into 31. Behind them, Corey Abbott into 7, Jared Rexing into 10. How about Hunter Smith up there in 6? We haven't talked about him much yet tonight, but if I remember correctly, he was 10th at the end of the first stage, and now he's starting to mix it up and try and get into that top 5.
Oh, man, Brandon Key is out on this racetrack trying to prove a point. He got eliminated in the Cup Series. He's trying to prove a point that he wants to get a win in at least some series tonight. And he's right on the back of Ethan Burrell, trying to look underneath, and he does. He actually was able to get a nose underneath him. See if he could be able to clear him coming out of turn 2. But right now, it looks like Ethan Burrell's sticking to his outside, and 31's opted to go underneath him, and maybe 3 wide. Oh,
he thought better of it. He thought about it, but he thought better of it.
Yeah, he's still on his back bumper though. He may have given him a push, but he's looked underneath him now. Oh, Brandon Key cuts him off. Oh, man, Brandon Key is going to have to be very careful going home tonight, because he has cut off a
Oh, that's
oh,
good.
man.
That's a paddling. That's a paddling. That's gonna get him a nudge. He's gonna hang on for dear life.
He's gonna save it. He's gonna lose quite a few positions from that. I think some of these drivers have told Brandon Key, you know what? You've just shown up here. You think that you can be able to put a block on us, and you may have, but you are not gonna have an easy night of it. And they just put a bumper to him. To his credit, though, he was able to save it. Still has a truck to be able to try to get back up there again.
Speaking of credit, we're gonna, if we dare look away from the lead here, look who's charged his way from the rear to contact with Brandon Key. I jinxed it.
Tyler Dixon, 51. They both make contact. 51 goes up, but both able to save it. 17 still looks pretty loose coming out of that turn. They just made contact going. Looked like going into turn 3, both not deciding on who was going to go in first, and unfortunately for both of them, they made contact, but neither one of them looks like they have a ton. I will note to say that Brandon Key does have a little bit of spoiler damage now from that.
I was just about to give an attaboy to Harrison Talon after coming from the rear for that banner penalty, fighting for a top 5 spot, and he almost ended up yard sailing it going into turn 3 with Brandon Key, but nonetheless, there he is up to 5th. Corey Abbott and Brandon Key now battling for 6th. Man. Again, we're not even at halfway yet.
No, there's aggression all around on this racetrack. There's a lot of aggression. Right now, though, we got a great battle for the lead as the 31 is desperately trying to figure out a way to get past the 19. And I'm hearing wrecking on the radios. Now they're saying saved it. So there's a lot of things going on the racetrack all at one time.
I'd say we could try to pull up a replay, but they're going 3 wide for the lead, so I don't think we will.
Well, it was 3 wide for a little bit, and then it looks like Ethan Burrell decided that he was just going to let that be. Both these drivers are playoff drivers, and desperately trying to go after that 10-point gain of getting first in the end of this stage, which is still 7 laps away, so they're pushing really hard for it right now.
Boy, I'm really surprised. I know we keep talking about it, but I'm just so surprised to see how intense the first half of this race is. Nobody's leaving anything on the table. We're not, again, still 7 laps from the stage break. Just incredible, incredible racing. So much on the line for these drivers now that we're in the playoffs. And you can see how hard they're pushing to grab every point, every lap they can get.
Yeah, you see back there now, Brandon Key's trying to push the 04 of Hunter Smith, who's having a pretty good night tonight. He's trying to get him back around. Brandon Key's just trying to find any way to get back up there again. He is not satisfied with the way things turned out for him, and he's trying desperately to get back up there. Unfortunately,
look at this. Look at this. I hate to distract, but you got Bow for the lead coming up on a lapper here. I'm not exactly sure who that is. Oh, that's Joshua Freed in the 8 truck. It looks like they did see. Well, nope. Here we go. Tom Bourne looking to the inside of Ethan Burrell as they go into turn 1. It got really dicey behind them, too. Tom Bourne to the lead. I think we're going to get 3 wide again.
Almost.
Ooh.
Between Brandon Key and looks like Trey Holmes. Trey Holmes has slid back from the start of this race. He was up there for the most part. He's found himself now back into the 8th position, trying to figure out a way to get past Brandon Key like all the others have. And finding out it's pretty difficult right now to get around Brandon Key.
I am running out of cameras to try and broadcast this. Right, Ethan Burrell now again battling for the lead with Tom Bourne. You've got Trey Holmes and Brandon Key battling there for 6th. I really wish we could do some like picture-in-picture stuff right now to try and capture everything that's going on. But needless to say, incredible racing here in Vegas as we close in on the end of the 2nd stage. Tom Bourne will lead that lap at the very least, but so much still to be decided on this stage. Ethan Burrell looking to the inside. Just incredible, incredible racing.
Well, Tom Bourne won Daytona and then kind of didn't have much of a season after that to really shout about. He fell through the points and luckily had that win to count on, but had a decent run last week over at Iowa, and has decided to take that momentum into tonight, and is doing a fantastic job of it, running up front for the majority of it, and leading right now. But one driver I've got to state is Jared Rexing. Jared Rexing in that 10 number yellow truck. He is, I'm telling you, he's probably one of the most aggressive drivers on the track every time, and I'm not putting it past him to figure out some kind of way to get around 31 and distance himself after he does so, because he is pretty quick right now.
Starting lap 49, 2 laps to go in the stage. Tom Bourne leading the way, Jared Rexing second, Ethan Burrell third, Harrison Talon fourth, Battle for fifth, Hunter Smith in the 04, Trey Holmes in the 88. They'll take the metaphorical white flag on the stage here this time by, as it looks like Trey Holmes is going to clear Hunter Smith through 3 and 4. Tom Bourne leading the way.
Yeah, great run by Tom Bourne, as I stated. He is now starting to put a gap behind him. Jared Rexing about the only truck that can keep up with him at this point. I'm not sure what exactly is going on with Ethan Burrell. He's usually one of those drivers on a long run who's able to handle it, but right now he's under big pressure by the 51 of Harrison Talon trying to go over for the third position. Goes wide. Looks like to the line it's going to be a couple drivers going to get around Ethan Burrell.
Yeah, indeed. Ethan's going to fall to 5th there at the end of the stage. Harrison Talon got up to 3rd, Trey Holmes to 4th, Tom Bourne picking up the stage win, Jared Rexing in 2nd. You had Hunter Smith. Well, it looks like they're still sorting out who was 6th between Corey Abbott and Hunter Smith. I believe it was Hunter Smith. And that appears to be how they are lining up now. So that would put Corey Abbott. He's still falling. Okay, so Shane Terrian 7th, Corey Abbott 8th, Bronson Stafford 9th, and Brandon Key falling to 10th by the end of that stage.
Yeah, that damage on the spoiler seemed to have slowed him down. Some key notes, though, going through the field. Chad Thurnquist, who got spun early on in the race, it has only worked his way back up to 15th. He did not gain points in Stage 1 and in Stage 2. That is very bad for his playoff hopes on through the field there. That's a lot of points missed out. That he was up there for the beginning part, and before that incident with the 61 of Bronson Stafford, looked to have had a decent car for the run, but being back there in points back there in position, scoring no stage points is not going to help his situation with tonight.
As the leaders come to pit road, we'll check in with our YouTube chat quickly. David Huckleberry chiming in. He had Sam Boutwell's Twitch chat pulled up and noted Sam said on the Twitch feed, quote, "That was all me." So there you have it from the driver of the 47. As we again look at this battle on pit road. Do want to take a quick moment to thank another sponsor here. How about the title sponsor for the series, Old Testament Firearms? They pledge to honor God in the provision of quality firearms, accessories, and more at the best value possible with customer service that goes beyond expectations. It's the Old Testament Firearm Truck Series that you're watching here on the Elite Racing Network tonight, and that's who makes it possible as they see the leaders come off pit road. Tom Bourne, still the man at the top of the heap.
Yeah, earlier in the race, it looked like drivers that were outside the chase were going to be the ones to watch, and now all of a sudden it looks like the chase drivers came to play, as it looks like 3 in the top 4 are chase drivers. Harrison Talon had that EOL at the start of the race. I believe he went all the way to the back for not having the banner, and he's now worked his way up there in 4th position and scored himself some stage points there, but like we've said earlier on in the broadcast, you win and you're in. So I think right now he's looking at he's got himself into a decent position. We've got 50 laps left to go. Can he be able to take a long run car and win it? He wasn't there in the beginning of the run, but at the end of the runs he seemed to have shown up. So maybe that's playing into a factor of just his strong suit with the vehicle.
the trend in this truck series this season has honestly been pretty clean races. So I'm going to take this caution to shout out a couple more of our premier partners in Elite, because I might not get another chance, especially the way the green flag racing has been tonight. Blue Egg Marketing, the marketing department for small businesses. Response Energy, it brings together form, function, and flavor in a great tasting, lightly carbonated energy drink without the lousy aftertaste associated with most drinks in the category, specially formulated with a proprietary blend of caffeine, complex vitamins, and taurine. Response delivers a concentrated boost of focus energy without giving you the jitters. Thank you to Response, to Blue Egg Marketing, to C2 Freight, Sonesta Hotels, Old Testament Firearms, everybody who makes this truck series possible. I did it! I got him! Like I say, we might not get another chance to say anything about anything other than what's on track for the next 50 laps.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Like I said, now this is completely different than what they had in the stages. In the stages, they knew that there was going to be a caution. I mean, in 25 laps, there was going to be a caution. Now they don't know. Now they don't know. It's going to be 50 laps. They're going to be good on fuel, essentially. It's going to be... I believe they're good on fuel. That's another thing we haven't checked, actually. Are they good on fuel for 50 laps? I would believe they would be.
I would imagine so. They were. We did it at Charlotte without a pit stop during the final stage. So, Texas, they pitted, but that was more of a tire fall-off thing. So... I don't feel, from what I've seen so far in this, I'm not sure tire fall off is too terribly drastic.
I don't know. Ethan Burrell was stating after that run that his truck got extremely tight. We had saw that whenever he went up into 3 and 4 and ran very high and lost 2 positions right at the finish line there. So it depends on how they're driving it. If they're throwing it in there hard or how they're playing with the throttle. It's going to be difficult to find out, who's actually saving anything, because it's so crazy going on. It's hard to concentrate on who's actually trying to save anything.
I even told myself before that second stage to watch the lap times, but how can you look at the lap times when you're seeing guys go 2 and 3 wide throughout the entire stage? We're going to try to bring it all to you here as they're doubled up to come back to the green flag. They'll start lap 56 when they take the green flag for the restart here. 100 laps, the scheduled distance here in the Sonesta 150 for the Elite Old Testament Firearms Truck Series at Las Vegas. Pace vehicle getting ready to make the left-hand turn on the pit road. Tom Bourne, Jared Rexing on the front row. Pair of playoff drivers looking to punch their ticket into Atlanta for the championship race. Green flag is out.
Yeah, fantastic start by the 31. Able to get himself out pretty far there, and it looks like the 10. He's going to try to get down low. He's not going to make it. Trey Holmes is there. 10's going to just kind of stay to the outside of him, hopefully have the 51 behind him to give him enough of a push to maybe clear him going into turn 3 as 2x2 from there.
Side by side by side, if you look at the 38 and 7 as well. Boy, I'm picking up right where they left off. And so many of these guys up front, playoff drivers, in case you're just tuning in, those white windshield banners, white spoilers, white valences, with the exception of Harrison Talon in the 51 because he did a no-no and forgot to apply his banner. Those are guys in the playoffs looking to secure a spot in the championship for it. Homestead, Trey Holmes on the inside, truck 88. He's not one of those drivers, but he wants to lead. He wants to play spoiler tonight.
Yeah, 31's going to stay to the outside of him. We've seen this pretty often with the 31. He opts to try to take the outside if there's availability there and just try to hold him down. Maybe that bottom line wears out the tires more, but he's going to try to hold him to the inside and be able to get the straightaway speeds to be able to get the draft with the 10 to be able to clear him going down the straightaways. But when they go into the turn, he's right on the bottom of him. But Trey Holmes is able to clear up a little bit there. I think Trey Holmes was trying to get him off of him at that point.
Shane Terrian, another driver who is in the playoffs but doesn't have that special banner on tonight. So
caution is out.
We do have a caution.
Looks like, there's a truck up against the wall back there.
All right, we will pull up the replay and see what we can find here.
Oh, playoff driver. Oh, a couple playoff drivers.
Let's see.
3 playoff drivers.
So.
Oh, wow. Wow, big wreck.
Let's see what we can find here on the replay.
You'll be good right there.
Oh,
Oop, you passed it.
I did. Here we go. We are gonna see what happened here. Alec Ballvans is in it. Dustin Dewar is in. Oh, boy, a massive incident. And there it looks like Jordan Owens got a piece of it on the way by too. That's Dustin Dewar into 32, Sean Ryan into 9. It looked like, we'll pull up another angle of it, but perhaps Sean Ryan got into Alec Ballvans on the way into the corner, and that's what set that off. We'll try to get a little bit better angle of it here.
Yeah, it looks like the 9 is Sean Ryan just kind of went down a little bit too much, and a little bit of net code there.
A little bit of net code, yep.
Hooked the 32 right into the 5, and around they went, and man, the 5 hit the wall hard. He is absolutely done for the night with an impact like that. He's just trying to figure out where to come down onto the racetrack. But unfortunate, as a couple of those drivers, the 9 and the 5, were playoff drivers, and this is obviously going to set them back a little bit, as they're going to finish behind all the lead lap drivers as of right now. I
was about to say, you see them sitting on pit road trying to get repairs, but Sean Ryan, it looks like, did just climb out of his virtual vehicle. Alex number 5 still on pit road, although that might just be simply because he's still getting towed to pit road in the iRacing realm. It'll be interesting to see if either of them can come back out and salvage anything, but definitely a huge blow to their playoff hopes. Now, one interesting thing we did see there is there are a few guys. Now, some of them might have had damage from passing through that incident. I'm not sure, though. We see Anthony Ludi came to pit road. We see Tyler Dixon came to pit road. We see Dylan Jones came to pit road. Brandon Key came to pit road. I'm pretty sure he was ahead of the accident. I might be wrong on that.
He was right by. I think he net coded through him. I think he was probably just double checking to see if he had any damage. And why we're stating that this is a big situation in this is because they only have one set of tires left for most of these drivers. After the end of stage 2, most drivers only have one more tire to be able to put on, and tires probably will play into the factor of how the trucks handle, especially who's able to stay on the gas harder. So when to put them on is going to be a key factor, because we've seen some of these races after the stage 2, they go green all the way to the end. So if some of these drivers are playing Lady Luck at Las Vegas, they may opt to take on the tires now and hope and bet that there's not going to be another wreck, and maybe work their way up through the field from there. But I don't know if I would have.
That's the gamble right now. And for most of those guys, they were in a position where they really didn't have a whole lot to lose, right? They were outside the top 10. Maybe they survived that accident. This is their chance to try and get into the mix. This is their chance to try something different, get off sequence. If it goes green the rest of the way, they're going to look brilliant. If we get a caution in about 20 laps, they're going to look idiotic. That's the brakes. That's how it works in the good old racing world. But I like seeing the different strategies. It'll be very interesting to see how it plays out.
Yeah, because if caution comes out 10, 15 laps from now, we'll know if they took tires or not, because they'll be the ones that stay out. And if they're staying out with a 10, 15 lap difference, they're going to get ran over. We've seen the theme of tonight, which is no lifting is involved in this. No. This is absolutely a no lift zone, and they are full throttle. And we've seen a few drivers, unfortunately, take the bad lump from that and get spun around, and some crashes from there on. But yeah, if it comes down to the end and someone's staying out with old tires, I definitely would not want to be on an onboard with them at that point.
And if that does unfold, I mean, it's a really tricky spot to be in if you have 20, 30 laps on your tires on a restart, because it's very easy to spin the tires on the restart. You might not even make it to turn 1 if you're not careful. Yeah, well, some drivers are obviously not happy with Key coming into tonight, stating onto our
YouTube timeline here.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny, but I don't know if we'll stake that on to hear what was said, but I'm pretty sure Brandon Key didn't go down pit road to hit anybody else. He's just probably checking to see if he had damage, but Key is going to be one of those.
I can confirm he has damage. I can clear that up for you.
Yeah, we can tell that. We're going to see if Key is going to be able to make any kind of progress up to the front. We saw he did that earlier on in the race, but that was before some incidents that he had been a part of. But here we come to the green flag. New leader out front, Trey Holmes. And we'll see how he does on this start.
Trey Holmes on the inside in the 88. And he's away. That's Tom Bourne in the 31 on the outside. Shane Terrian in the 38. The teammates will go side by side into turn number 1 here on lap 64 of 100 in the Sonesta 150. And it looks
Watch out for that.
Yeah.
Shane Terrian's going to be able to get underneath him. I was stating to watch out because he had a fantastic run getting up through the gears, and he's now going to be underneath the 88. Shane Terrian, one of those drivers that got an EOL for no banner. He is a playoff driver. Disallow his colored green spoiler. That's his natural look that he runs, but he is a playoff driver and is out front on lap 65. From the back to the front, 65 laps.
Shane Terrian, I feel like every time we broadcast one of these Elite Truck Series races, we talk about how it's amazing he hasn't won a race this season. He got into the playoffs by just accumulating points, just lethal consistency throughout the season. One of the series leaders as far as top 10 finishes, top 5 finishes, but never made the trip to victory lane. Will that change tonight? Can he get that first win at an also crucial time to get that playoff spot at Atlanta?
Wow, there's a lot of things going on right now. The 38 does a switchback, gets underneath the 19 of Ethan.
Contact!
They're wrecking back. The 10 got into the 04, and the 31 is into the wall. Multiple playoff drivers. No caution. Corey Abbott's involved.
Oh, Thurnquist is around.
Oh, there's the sideway.
There's the caution.
Barely gets. Oh, wow. Corey Abbott barely gets past the 92 of Thurnquist. That had to have been about 4 or 5 playoff drivers involved right there. Oh, wow.
We basically had a driver's meeting on the backstretch is what we just had here. We'll pull up the replay and try to figure out what even happened to set all of that in motion. But
it was a 3-wide situation go bad on the back straightaway. Not sure exactly. We'll replay it back to see exactly where it happened, but I believe it looked like the 04, the 10 of Jared Rexing. You see there, Jared Rexing just gets into the 04 side. Man, ruins the run of the 31. He was having a fantastic night tonight, but that whole front nose is gone. Brandon Key just gets into Chad Thurnquist and spins him around after the caution.
We'll take another look here from a different angle. This is actually just behind the 3-wide going wrong. You see them stacking up. Hunter Smith against the wall along with Tom Bourne. Corey Abbott got a little bit of a piece of it there. And Thurnquist comes back up the hill in front of Key. That's what sends him around, and that's what ultimately brought out the caution.
Yeah, to the benefit of some of those other drivers involved that desperately need to get their truck's attention on pit road. Man, this changes up everything. That took out a lot of key drivers that were up front there that looked to have been in key or into a very prominent position to go for the win, and now it all goes up into flames. As now they got bats out trying to fix their vehicles at the end of this race.
So now here's what's really interesting. We've added yet another wrinkle to our strategy conversation, because you have some of these front runners still holding on to that set of tires like it's the golden ticket to Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. But then you have some guys who pitted one caution ago, and then you have some guys pitting now. And granted, some of those obviously have damage from that incident, but some of them taking advantage of this caution to strap on that last set of tires. Boy, the plot thickens.
we still have 30 laps left to go. There's still so much racing, and there's just a no give. Like I told you, they went into this race and they saw a couple of key drivers not in the race, and they found this to be the one that they can go out and try to win at. And unfortunately for a lot of these drivers, their aggressions have led to their downfalls. The ones that went down pit road, even if they took tires, some of those trucks that got damaged, 31, the 10, the 04, they're so heavily damaged that it doesn't matter if they get tires at this point. They're just going to be racing in their own race, trying to gain the few positions that they can at the end of it. Man, this shakes up everything, is to figure out who's actually going to be the ones to watch as we go forward. Shane Thurian, obviously, the top running playoff driver, probably the one that we didn't talk about at all going for the first two stages. Kind of just ran his own race, kind of out of nowhere's, where no one was paying attention to him. Now look where he finds himself, out front with a clean truck, and that's a lot to say than most of these drivers.
If I've read the tea leaves correctly between timing and scoring, keeping up with what we have on track here, top 6, Shane Thurian, Ethan Burrell, Trey Holmes, Bronson Stafford, Harrison Talon, Jordan Owens, still on the set of tires they bolted on at the end of stage number 2. After that, everybody has either come to pit road for tires and or repairs. Obviously, we can't say for certain which without literally watching every single car go down pit road, and I'd have to hire an intern for that. Right now, Mark Keeler being scored 7th, Tyler Dixon 8th, Corey Abbott 9th, Anthony Ludi in 10th.
Yeah, it's hard to find the start of the trucks that are actually not damaged, because now there's quite a few starting about the back half of this race. Most of those drivers now, from I believe it's 7th on back, it looks like they have been involved in at least one accident or another. We didn't know that this was going to be the case coming in tonight. Each mile and a half race is a little bit different than the other. And tonight, with the high grip and the drafting playing such a factor into how they draft up onto each other in such speeds, it's led to some chaos coming into it. We still got 30 laps left. Obviously, some of these drivers up front are thinking that the chaos is not done yet, as they have not pitted for tires. So it's going to be interesting to see, who's going to be good from here on out.
Well, we've seen the aggression all night long. We mentioned how it was probably only going to ramp up as we got closer to the end. Mission accomplished there. We're back underway. 29 laps to go. Shane Thurian leading the way. Ethan Burrell wanting to change that on the inside in truck 19.
Yeah, the 38 did not have a great restart. Usually you get a couple car lengths lead. He did not. Ethan Burrell able to time him perfectly and able to read that. That's what you get for a multiple winner in all 3 divisions in Elite. Ethan Burrell is the real deal when it comes to speed, and he was able to read that from the 38, as both the 38 and the 6-1 teammates, both new to Elite, just racing in the truck series, may not know the talent level of some of these drivers, and I think they just learned a little bit there.
Now, you mentioned that talent level. I do want to give a shout out to those FRN drivers. They were rookies in the Old Testament Firearms Truck Series this season, all 3 making the playoffs, and all 3 actually, by virtue of making the playoffs, ensure they have finished high enough in the standings to earn charters in the JoinAPS.com Cup Series for the 2022A season. Tip of the cap to them, but obviously now their sights are set on getting this championship. Right now, Shane Thurian in the catbird seat on lap 73.
Yeah, one thing for them to know is, obviously, if they go to a different division, they're not going to have amazing broadcasters like us.
I mean, that's true. That's
be some other guys. So you got to take your lumps. You're going to do the trucks and have amazing guys like us announcing it, or some other guys like Chris Wright or something. Throw a little dirt at some of the other guys. Got to make it competitive.
I believe, Gerald, if you can pick up the white courtesy phone, we have Chris Wright on line 2.
Well, I think we should have some kind of poll to decide who's done a better job. I know for certain the trucks have done probably the best job out of anything. The truck series here has been so competitive, so many different winners, and you get races like these that you just have no idea what's going to happen. You know, there's no one driver just taking off from the lead. We've had multiple drivers, as you see now. The 38th has taken his chance to, take the lead from here. We've had different drivers that have had different skill sets, going from dirt to road course. It's just been a wonderful season to announce.
It's been a wonderful season, and it's only getting more and more intense now that we're in the playoff. Shane Terrian leading the way. Bronson Stafford into 61, challenging Ethan Burrell into 19 for the second spot. Trey Holmes waiting in the wings in truck 88 in fourth. Tyler Dixon up to fifth in that black 54, creeping into the frame.
I'd have to believe probably Tyler Dixon took tires at one point in time. He was back in the outside of the top 10 for a good portion of that run, and he has damage. So I honestly believe Tyler Dixon probably has tires.
I can tell you, at minimum, he pitted under the most recent caution. I like you, would have to believe he took tires when he pitted.
Well, right now we got an FRM 1-2. We haven't seen that since. Whoa! They put Ethan Burrell into the wall. Ethan Burrell got forced into the wall there when the 61 decided that he was done racing the bottom lane and decided to take his lane. And now, does Ethan Burrell have enough damage that's going to affect his straightaway speed? Or is he going to still have some speed to get back up there? Is anger going to cause him to have a little bit more momentum now? But, oh, man, that was close.
And here we see now Tyler Dixon trying to work his way to the inside of Ethan Burrell. That would be for the fourth spot. Can't do it just yet. Jordan Owens looking look to the outside for a little bit there.
Yeah, Jordan Owens races time to time with the Truck Series, having a fantastic night tonight.
And he's one of those guys that had not pitted during the final stage, so he's making the older tires work, and he gets back around Tyler Dixon for the fifth spot.
Yeah, look at that. Now Brandon Key doesn't have a lot of friends tonight, but he still has a truck underneath him, and he's still able to go. But man, that truck is mangled. That Rainbow has seen a thing or two at this point of the race. So he's still got some speed, surprisingly. So yeah, we'll find out if Brandon Key is able to have enough speed to at least be able to keep up with the leaders. Oh, wow.
That was, if that wasn't a shove from Chad Thurnquist to Tyler Dixon, it came awfully close as they were going down the backstretch there. Thurnquist with a head of steam at the moment, one of those drivers that definitely pitted for tires and repairs earlier, and he looks like he wants to be somewhere really quick.
Yeah, Chad Thurnquist, obviously didn't score any points in the beginning, got turned around, then got turned around just the last caution there by the gentleman right in front of him. So he's probably got no patience at this point in time, especially with the 17. We'll find out if he's going to have an easy time getting around him, as he is going to get underneath him coming around turn 4. I think the 17's front end is just causing him to have a little less speed down the straightaways. 19, even though he has some rear end damage due to the fact that that's where he keeps getting hit at, but other than that, he's still got a clean nose in front of him, so that's all he needs to hopefully get around a couple of these guys at the end of this race.
Now it looks like, whoa, they almost make contact going into turn 3 there. You're starting to see some of these trucks on the older tires work their way up into that middle groove. Thurnquist was able to keep it pinned right on the bottom as he made his way around Brandon Key there. It'll be interesting to see if that opens the door for some more moves as Chad Thurnquist continues to work his way forward.
Yeah, if any drivers did take tires, it doesn't look like it's playing as big of an advocate for their trucks, because, again, we don't know if they took tires and it's what's keeping them up there due to the fact of them having so much damage, or if it's just mere fact that the draft package here is just so good for them that they're able to keep up. But right now we got the 92 looking underneath this 16. He's starting to get a couple positions here late in the run, so we'll figure out if eventually here if he's got tires or not.
It may not end up being a race-winning move to take tires for Chad Thurnquist, but it's definitely done him well to salvage some points and keep his playoff hopes alive here in the first round at Vegas. Definitely a great drive for the driver of Truck 92 as he has worked his way into the top 5 here with 15 laps to go.
Well, so far up front, it's all been a little bit spaced out, a couple of car lengths, but we do have a battle coming around for second. Looks like the 88 is starting to look underneath one of those FRN trucks there of Bronson Stafford. And so far right behind him, but he's been slowly gaining on him.
Trey Holmes looking to be the front runner at the moment out of the drivers, trying to play spoiler, one of the non-playoff drivers, hoping to steal this win here at Vegas. He's going to have to work around the tag team of Shane Terrian and Bronson Stafford if he wants to do it, but he's looking to the inside of Stafford here, not quite able to pull alongside coming out of turn 2.
Yeah, we haven't seen these FRN trucks run this strongly since Daytona at the beginning of the season. All three of those drivers made the chase, which was good for them. You know, their first season, and they all made it, but only one win to their name. That was at the very beginning. Since then, not a single one of them has even been close to winning. And now look at it here, 31 led the majority of the race at the beginning part, one stage 2. And now it looks like both FRN trucks are looking pretty stout to finish off this run as we come down to only 13 laps to go at the finish line now.
Shaping up to be quite a finish. Shane Terrian leads the way. Bronson Stafford in second, Trey Holmes third, Ethan Burrell fourth, Chad Thurnquist in fifth. And you can almost, at certain points, see all 5 of them right there in the frame at one time, all within a second of one another. And I have to wonder right now, Chad Thurnquist with those fresher tires, maybe working with Ethan Burrell a little bit to try and close that gap and see if they can make it a 5-truck battle for the win late.
Yeah, he's definitely on his back bumper. Ethan Burrell was with us on the broadcast, so he knows how hard these drivers are going for it. He was in the broadcast with me last week, but this week he's out on the track, so I think he saw how good the racing was and decided that he probably wanted to be a part of it because it's been great racing for this whole season so far. But right now, 32 just can't seem to get underneath them, and that gap is starting to open up between the 3rd and 4th place driver.
10 laps to go. Looking at the lap times that time by, and it does look like indeed that top 3 are able to add ever so slightly to that lead. But I wonder if we saw Trey Holmes there look to the inside. If he starts battling with Bronson Stafford again, that could be exactly what Ethan Burrell and Chad Thurnquist want to see.
Yeah, as the battle is spaced out here, coming to the closing laps here as they come down to 10 laps to go. It has been a dogfight back there from, it looks like 8th position. They have not decided it back there. It's still quite crazy. There is a lot of stage points. Brandon Key's holding up a couple of those positions, and they're looking to be 3 wide back there. Oh, boy.
Yeah, I think we actually cut to it just in time to see maybe Anthony Ludi get a brush with the wall. Hard to say if he did get into the wall or not, but definitely intense racing back here, all in that battle to make into the top 10. Jared Rexing with a nice little shove there to the 43 of Ludi. You see Tyler Dixon.
Oh, boy, cuts off the 43 just a little bit, dives underneath the 17 of Brandon Key. Brandon Key, again, both Dixon and Key have a lot of front-end damage, and I think it's affecting their speed. Right now, the 10's decided to push the 43 around, who has a pretty decent-looking truck still at this point. But, man, there's points to be made back there, obviously. So these drivers are not giving up the ghost. They're trying to get every little point they can.
Every spot could be the difference when we get, if they didn't make contact there, Tyler Dixon and Brandon Key, they came awfully close there going into the into turn number 1. For these playoff drivers, like you say, every spot could be a crucial point that decides whether or not they're in the championship for at Homestead, or Atlanta, excuse me, leaving nothing to chance right now.
Yeah, Atlanta's a mile-and-a-half track, so it's a little different than this, but still the same concept. It's going to be a mile-and-a-half track, so you know what you see from tonight is probably what we're going to be looking at as far as the end of the season. So, if it's as crazy as this, we're going to lose our voice at the end of it.
I feel mine starting to slip away now, if I'm being completely honest, but it's been that kind of night here at Vegas as we watch Tyler Dixon and Brandon Key battle for the 8th position here in the closing laps of the Sonesta 150 at Las Vegas. Shane Terrian still leading the way, Bronson Stafford in second, Trey Holmes third, Ethan Burrell fourth, Chad Thurnquist in fifth. We'll probably have to leave this battle here shortly to get back to our leaders as we get close to the checkered flag, but man, intense racing all night long as we, boy, a big move there, and Hunter Smith diving to the inside to get alongside Jared Rexing here. Again, Rexing in that playoff battle, Hunter Smith not so much, but so many of these guys scratching and clawing for every point they can get.
Yeah, we do have a battle for second place, so we will have to miss this battle, but go up front where we got another. The 88 has finally gotten to the inside, has been trying very hard to get it. Oh, they touched a little bit there going into turn 3. Just barely. The 88 decided he's not going to go all the way down to the bottom, and the 61 is right on his panel. Both are slowing down quite a bit from this and allowing Shane Therian to have an even larger gap to them. But right now, the battle's between those two as the outside lane seems to be the preferred one, able to pinch down and hold down the guy below and be able to keep him below. But the side drafts is a thing. You see the 88 get back to the inside. Oh man, they both are. The 61 is going to have to realize he's racing for a playoff spot.
I was just about to say that.
To lose, and they're touching.
At what point is discretion the better part of valor here? Not yet! Not yet!
Oh, the 61 slams the outside wall. Hard, and he's going to come down. Is he going to block the 92? No, he does not. He is slid back to fifth.
So that is basically makes it clear sailing for Shane Terrian up front, Trey Holmes in second, Ethan Burrell in third, but the gap is over a second between Shane Terrian and Trey Holmes unless Ethan Burrell can just give him the shove of all shoves over these final 2 laps. That might be all she wrote.
No, Shane Therian decided to wait until now to get his first win for his Sky Motorsports, the FRN sponsored truck. Decided now that is the time to show some amazing ability to be able to just outpace the field, get himself to the biggest gap of all night. By far, the biggest gap that we've seen all night. A lot of that was due to the incident between the 88 and the 61, but still, to have that speed was quite crucial at the end of this run.
The white flag is out. Shane Terrian clear by 1.3 seconds. Coming down the backstretch, he's going to be the first, as long as he can make it through turns 3 and 4 without incident, to earn his spot in the championship 4. Shane Terrian across the line to win the Sonesta 150 at Las Vegas. He's going to be championship hunting at Atlanta.
So, and apologize. Side by side, it was a close battle. I think it was only separated by maybe a 1/100th of a second between the 19 and the 88. Both of those drivers racing hard at the finish line. But yeah, so she stated Shane Therian finally getting the win for his truck and his team to start off the playoffs. A great run by those FRN trucks, sponsored trucks, Sky Motorsports, as they're going to celebrate tonight with a victory as Shane Therian locks himself into the top 4 as he's going to go for a championship in his very first run in Elite.
Shane Terrian pulling up to the front stretch. We'll see Tom Bourne give him the old attaboy on the bumper there before Driver of truck 38 begins his celebration here at the start-finish line. Like you say, what better time to pick up his first win of the season than right here in the first race of the playoffs in the Old Testament Firearms Truck Series. We'll take a look at the full results while we await our drivers to join us in the booth. Shane Terrian picking up the win. Trey Holmes second. Ethan Burrell third. Chad Thurnquist fourth. Bronson Stafford hanging on to fifth after that contact with Trey Holmes late. Harrison Talon sixth. Jordan Owens seventh. Brandon Key eighth. Jared Rexing ninth. Anthony Ludi rounding out the top 10. Hunter Smith finishes 11th. Tyler Dixon 12th. Corey Abbott 13th. William Harrington in 14th. Joshua Freed 15th. Mark Keeler 16th. Tom Bourne 17th. Dylan Jones 18th. Alec Balvins 19th. Dustin Dewar in 20th. And in rounding out the field, Sean Ryan, Hunter Firestone, Sam Boutwell, Kyle Walgren. And it looks like we do have our winner ready to join us in the booth. Shane, man, been knocking on the door of the win all season long here in the Old Testament Firearms Truck Series. Finally, it happens tonight, and what better time than in the playoffs to earn your spot in the championship four? How's it feel?
It feels good. I apologize in advance. I got a crying little girl on my lap right now. So, yeah, she woke up and I was busy, so I couldn't give her attention. So she's crying. But it feels good. It took till the playoffs, but what better time than now? So I mean, I'll take it.
Well, we've stated it so much in this season. I had high hopes for you and that team to go out after the dominant run there at Daytona to start off. Then you guys had abysmal luck with wrecks and everything else affecting it. This is great. Obviously, you're locked into the Final Four. You're going to go for your first championship in Elite in your very first season, which is a good thing. It's hard to do, trust me, in the Elite to be able to go for any of the championships for it. But and now you got two other teammates that need to get into those final four spots, and obviously some difficult tracks. As looks like the ending race will be Martinsville. Is there something that your team, as well as you, is going to go forward from here? Is it just aggression, or is there going to be some saving? We saw that you, unfortunately, had to go from the back to the front and was able to do it cleanly, but overall, most of your other teammates and other drivers tonight, not so clean of a race. So obviously, some tempers are going to be flaring. Is there a thing? Is there a way your team's going to approach these next couple races?
I think they know now is these non-playoff guys are just not going to give it any respect. I saw it going through the field. That's why I didn't pick him off. When I got to the top 10, I was like, I don't want to be up there. I don't know who it was. I don't want to call anyone out, but someone was blocking and dooring people, and they weren't a playoff driver. So I think after what happened with the 88 and Bronson, I think they know that race them like they race you, because they don't care if you're in the playoffs at this point. So they're just going to have to get aggressive. I don't know where we go next. If it's, I think, Auto Club. If it is, I think Bronson and Tom have a really good shot. I'll probably just play block in third for the top three, but we'll see what happens. I'm locked in, so I'll do whatever I can to get them in.
Well, congratulations on the win. Obviously, you got some matching vehicles with those other teammates of yours, the FRN. Very easy to spot with those green. You're gonna make sure to put the correct banner on it, so you don't have to try to work through the field again.
Yeah, I had it on, but I made the mistake of registering first. So because trading paints, because I registered, it didn't load in. I could see it, but no one else could see it. So it's on there, but unfortunately, no one could see it. So I'll take it. I guess starting from the back actually helped me learn something, so it worked.
Well, congratulations. Good run through the field. Other than that, we're going to let you do your shout-outs. I know you and your FRN team usually have quite a few of them. Well, Sky Team, I got corrected earlier on in the broadcast. Sky Team. We're just so used to that. Yeah, I'm so used to FRN with you guys that it just kind of goes natural with it. But obviously, Sky Team is the team and FRN is the sponsorship. But I'll let you go ahead and do your shout-outs.
Yeah, I'm going to shout out FRN. This is, since we broke the curse, we've been on a roll with these green and black colors. We could never win for like 2 years in this car. So To get that win again is awesome. First win for Elite. I want to thank Evil Controllers are also on my car, and then the Sky Motorsports guys. Sucks that they had bad luck at the end, but there's still 2 more races to go.
So there you have it, Shane Terrian. Congratulations on the win. We'll see you next week at, you got it right, by the way, Auto Club.
Awesome.
So there you have it. The winner, Shane Terrian, will now grab second place here. Oh, no he won't. I don't know what I just did. I just tried to throw him across the universe on Discord. There we go. Trey Holmes, second place finisher here tonight. Trey, definitely an exciting one tonight. Lots of intense racing. As the guy not in the playoffs, mixing it up with these playoff guys throughout the night. Of course, we saw the battle at the end there with Bronson Stafford as well. What was it like trying to tiptoe through all of that and figure out when to push, when not to push, as hard as the racing was tonight?
Yeah, I know he's upset, but I'm here to race for wins. You know, I know he's in the playoffs and whatnot, but it's win or wreck at this point, to be honest. And it was fun, very fun. But the bottom would roll the first part of the run, and then it seemed like you just had to migrate up to the middle to maintain position. But it was a fun race.
Well, we saw that it was cutthroat out there. Blocks
Very
being
cutthroat.
made.
Very.
Yeah, blocks being made. The runs were very, very fast, especially in the beginning of the runs. What was the kind of strategy? Because we saw you had different points in the race that you were stronger than others, where you went from the front to the back. Was it a situation that made it easier to pass earlier on than later in the run, or was there just a certain way that you're trying to approach the view tonight?
That first run, it seemed like the bottom was obviously the way to go, but as the run went on, I progressively got tighter and tighter, so I started to struggle a little bit. And then that second run, it seemed like the bottom went a little bit faster than that first run. So then I figured out that the middle was probably the best to maintain position, and then trying to pick your spots and trying to time the runs, time the exit runs, trying to get to the outside of somebody to try to pin them on the bottom.
Well, however it worked, it got you up to second. Now, you got a couple more races to obviously try to go for the win. And then are you going to try to are you coming back to Elite next season to try to go for it? Learned a few things, obviously. You obviously had speed. We've seen you up front for majority of these races. Just some of the, I guess, schedule-wise, you missed a few of them to knock yourself out of the chase. But obviously had a decent enough truck to be running up front with most of these chase runners. Are you looking to try to knock a few wins out and then come back next season and put it all together?
Absolutely. We're going for wins the rest of this season. And I will be back in the trucks and Xfinity for next season in Elite, so I'm looking forward to it.
Well, congratulations on a second place. One more position would probably make your night even sweeter. But other than that, we'll let you go ahead and do your shout-outs for your podium run for tonight.
Yeah, I just want to thank Fueled Up and Casey actually giving me the opportunity to run his trucks. And thanks to Elite and Chad for putting this on. And I'll see you guys next week. Well, I'll see most of you guys tomorrow at Talladega.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's going to be fun.
God bless us all.
If you're up front running out, you'll see me up there.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you're in the back, you'll see me. All right. Have a good one, Trey.
You too. Thanks, guys.
All right. And to complete our podium, we will bring in Ethan Burrell, finishing third in truck number 19. Ethan, one of the words that came up in the second place interview there with Trey was cutthroat. And I don't think there's a better way to describe what we saw tonight. What was that like from your perspective as somebody who wanted to go for the win, but obviously was in the mix with these playoff guys as well?
Oh yeah, cutthroat is right. I mean, that was hard racing. There was no difference really between series here. I usually don't run down in the truck series here, but it was fun, man. It was definitely cutthroat. Really hard battles, and this package was so aero dependent that the blocks were pretty extreme too. But man, yeah, it was a lot of fun out there.
Well, you were with me in the broadcast last week, and then obviously you showed up for this. So you saw enough racing that made you want to show up for it for sure. But did you learn anything from tonight that carries on for your playoff hopes and any of the other series?
Yeah, I think it's really just track time, it's keeping me fresh here and just having a good time with the guys. I don't get too many opportunities throughout the week to get track time, so any time on the track helps immensely for running for hopefully running for a championship in the Xfinity series. So, but yeah, I mean, I had a really good time out here, and like you said, calling the shots last week and getting down here in the truck this week. It was a really good experience for me, and anytime I can get out of work early enough on Sunday nights, I tried my best to get down here in the truck series.
Well, you only finished third, so I'm thinking your broadcast career is probably better right now than
Ooh.
I thought he was coming in. He was my pick tonight to go out there and win it. Everyone was, especially Scott Crump tonight, was very much cheering for you to try to get that playoff spot taken away from some of those guys. Obviously, one of the drivers that was very clean out there was you, especially considering some of the drivers were playoff. Was that kind of a big factor in how you raced, was just seeing who is a playoff driver? We saw some drivers, we won't mention names, other people have so far in this broadcast, that stated that they saw a lot of not so clean racing from non-playoff drivers. Were you a little bit more into letting the playoff drivers having their own kind of space and let them breathe a little bit?
Oh, no way. I didn't care about those guys. I was out there trying to win. No, it was. I mean, it's there's always that factor. You don't want to be the guy that shows up and ends someone's chances. But I mean, hey, this is a developmental series here. I mean, I was going out here with one goal, trying to win. I came up short of that, but I mean, I was racing these guys hard, and they were racing me hard. And I mean, I only made just a tiny bit of contact with one of them, I think, but yeah, I mean, it's all racing to win, man. It's all out.
Are you racing? Are you in the playoffs for the B car tomorrow?
I am, yes. So I'm trying to get some of that. I was trying to get some of that excitement out today, so maybe I can have a lot more mellow race tomorrow. I guess I probably should have ended up flipping tonight, so maybe it wouldn't happen tomorrow, but we will see how that goes.
Well, I'll be in there trying to play spoiler, so.
Oh yeah.
It's Talladega.
Well, if I flip, I hope it's with you. That'd be kind of cool.
Oh, that's so sweet of you. Maybe I'll rewind it and watch you flip, and that'll be enough for me. I kind of need a win. I haven't won as many races as you have so far this season, so I need some luck going my way a little bit.
Wait, y'all win races? What's up with that?
You'll get there eventually. Me and Ethan have been racing in Elite for quite a long time at this point.
Sometimes there's an embarrassing amount of time involved to end up in winning some of these races. So,
well, Ethan and I have had
your battles.
Ethan and I have had seasons where it seems so long before our last victory. I mean, Ethan had one season where he went. I forget how long. It was almost like 2 seasons where he didn't go.
Yeah,
winning.
it was like a week and a half short of a year. So yeah, 2 whole seasons, and I mean, there's guys that don't win, but I mean, I had multiple wins, and then I had no wins for a long time, and everyone was talking to me about it and asking me about it, and I was like, I don't know, man, I'm trying my best, trying to get back to my ways.
And it's the most frustrating thing, because you're like, man, am I doing something different? It's the most mind games you'll ever have, is when you're having you go from a winning season to just zeros on the scoreboard. So it's
exactly.
Bad. But other than that, Ethan, we'll let you do some shout outs, and then we're gonna go home eventually here.
Yeah, shout out to you guys for putting on the show. My teammates at Pro Edge Racing, we were short on numbers tonight. Some of the guys had some life get in the way, but we'll take that, and it was fun running out there. And shout out to all the drivers, full-time drivers in the truck series, putting on a good show and running for a championship. And big shout out to my fiance Rachel, who's right here.
My man.
She was waiting for like 2 minutes to say that. So, but yeah, just thanks everybody. Chad Frankenfield doing race control tonight. I know he would rather be down there on the track making it 4 wide with chase drivers, but shout out to him for making that sacrifice. And hopefully I'll get to jump in one of these truck races again before the season's over.
Well, we'll be here to broadcast that. We'll see if you can get a couple more spots into the win columns, and maybe she can shout out that you're a winner instead of just my man. But
that would be cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool. But other than that, thank you, Ethan. You have yourself a wonderful night. We'll see you. Or I'll see you on in tomorrow, and maybe you'll push me for a win.
All right, thanks, guys. See you there.
So there you have it. That is Ethan Burrell wrapping up our podium interviews. We do have updated point standings, so I'll share those before we go off the air. Jared Rexing now leads the point standings by 9 over Shane Terrian. Believe it or not, obviously Shane Terrian not too worried about the points anymore. He's got to win. He's good to go. So he is set in that regard. Jared Rexing is 20 points ahead of the cutoff right now. So then you have Bronson Stafford and Tom Bourne rounding out the top four, if you will, right now. Tom Bourne is 4 points to the good. Then you have Chad Thurnquist, Harrison Talon, Tyler Dixon, Corey Abbott, Sean Ryan, Alec Baldwins, and then at the tail, Scott Crump and Brent Jones. Of course, they were not with us tonight. They'll be looking for wins the next 2 weeks to try and earn their spot at Atlanta. Of course, those 2 races we mentioned, of course, next week, Fontana. Or actually, I lied. It's not next week. It's not next week. We are off next week. The week after that is Fontana. And then the week following that, December 12th, is Martinsville. That's where we'll set the field of 4 for Atlanta. On December 19th, of course, we mentioned tomorrow night, we have the Grand National Series at Talladega. And then it's a little bit of a Thanksgiving break. No Cup Series on Wednesday night. I'm pretty sure no IndyCar on Friday night, although I should probably look at the schedule before I say that out loud. I would have to assume no IndyCar on Friday night. They raced last week at Milwaukee anyway. Yes, IndyCar next on track December 3rd at Belle Isle. Godspeed whoever decides to run that godforsaken event. I will be in Pensacola. So, Gerald, that wraps up another exciting night here in the Old Testament Firearms Truck Series. I know you'll be back in 2 weeks' time at Fontana. I won't be. Again, I'll be in Pensacola, just watching some cars drive around in circles down there in the real world. Well, hopefully by the time the Truck Series is on, I'll be eating dinner. And maybe I'll be watching you on my phone while eating dinner.
Let me know how I'm doing.
Sure.
Yeah, so far I've had a perfect attendance watching all these events, and man, I gotta say I've enjoyed it all. It's been a lot of crazy storylines. Shane Therian finally getting the win continues our streak of how many different drivers have won now. Only one driver to win 2 races, so that just shows how crazy so far these Truck Series events have been. So can't wait to see who races on into the victory lane at California, and we'll go from there.
It'll be very interesting to say the least. If I don't speak to you between now and then, or between now and December 12th in my case, thank you for tuning in tonight here on the Elite Racing Network. Look forward to seeing all of you back next time at Auto Club. Until then, take care and enjoy the rest of your evening.